YouTube, what's going on? I'm your host, Footy Morale. As you can see from the title, we are going to be talking about week 3 of the Premier League. So, obviously, a lot of stuff happened this week. We going from Arsenal drawing against Brighton to City's utter dominance against West Ham to Chelsea dominance in the first half and lackluster in the second half game against Crystal Palace. And ultimately, the United fumble. We are going to get into all of it today on this channel. But yeah, let's get into it. Arsenal versus Brighton 1-1. See, there are two things I can take away from this game. You got, first of all, from Arsenal's point of view, this is an ultimate fumble. This could decide if your team is champions or not. But Brighton, they showed us how serious they are as a team, and they showed us that they're not here to play. After that game, I can honestly say Arsenal aren't going to win the Premier League, and Brighton are not going to finish mid-table this year. Brighton will finish in the top 6. I'm going to say that right now. Brighton will finish in the top 6. Going away to Arsenal, who had the best defense in the Premier League last year, one of the best defenses in the world last year, went to their home and still somehow managed to get a point out of that game. But honestly, in my opinion, I genuinely think that loss is on Arteta. Going 1-0 up against Brighton at home and you choose to go ultra defensive, that is ultimately what changed the game for you. Why are you going defensive against a Brighton team that you know you can beat after going 1-0 up? This is what separates pretenders from contenders. Rodri said this last year, that Man City win the Premier League because of their fucking mentality. And you think you can just sit back against a team like Brighton who love to attack? Not just the fact that they have very good players in their first team, but they have some speedy players like Adingra on their bench, Minte. They have João Pedro who starts for them now. They have so many good players that you can't just afford to sit back. In that first half, Arsenal should have been 2-0 up, at least 2-0 up. They started off that game so well, but come on, that was lackluster from them. On Brighton's side, you have a very bright season ahead of you. Winning against United to drawing against Arsenal, I'm pretty sure they haven't lost a single game this year so far. Brentford 3, Southampton 1. The main thing I can take away from this game is that Brentford do not need Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney does not need Brentford. Brentford does not need Ivan Toney. Mbeumo, please. That guy is him. He is him. He's somehow made this team his own. And it's really crazy to see from the very inconsistent striker we saw when he was playing alongside Ivan Toney to now him taking this team on his back and it's really become his team. The way Thomas Frank has this team playing is wild. Wissa, the Danish player, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And you also got Mbeumo. All these players just firing on all cylinders. Well, as for Southampton, we already know the deal with them. They're a championship team, let's be real. This team is not going to survive in the Prem. They're not going to do it this year. They're not going to do it next year. If they somehow don't get relegated this season, they definitely will get relegated next season. I don't think they've won a single game this year, and I don't see who they're beating in the Prem right now. Maybe Ipswich, but come on, Ipswich probably will beat them. Everton versus Bournemouth 2-3. Sean Dyche, some serious questions needs to be answered, bro. 2-3 to Bournemouth. Come on, with no real striker. I swear they was winning 2-0 up until the 87th minute. How have you let in 3 goals? I say this as a United fan, knowing how when we play Chelsea, we let in 3 goals. But come on. This is embarrassing, especially with that point deduction hanging over your heads. You cannot be losing games like this. But Bournemouth, y'all are looking dangerous. Justin Clivert, Sinistera, and Semenyo, I believe that's his name. But all of them firing on different levels this year. It's mad. Especially that guy, Semenyo and Sinistera. Well, they've been on it this season. Not so much to say about that game, but like, come on, Sean Dyche, you gotta pattern up, bro. You gotta pattern up. Fulham versus Ipswich, 1-1. Who really give a fuck about this game? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I don't believe anybody actually watched this game because it's so lackluster. Fulham is one of the teams I genuinely hate to watch because yeah, they play great football, don't get me wrong, but they don't have, like, it's one of the most frustrating systems to watch. They don't have the final ball. They don't have that final finish. And the fact that your attack is, I think, Raul Jimenez, fucking Adama Traore, and Emil Smith-Rowe, it's not good enough. It's not gonna take you anywhere. Emil Smith-Rowe, I like him a lot, but Adama Traore in 2024 is insane to me. Leicester versus Aston Villa, 2-1. Aston Villa again showing how good of a team they are. Unai Emery should have won Manager of the Season last year. Honestly, it's a terrible decision they gave it to Pep, because from the looks of it, Unai Emery is the real deal, and he looks like he's gonna take Aston Villa to back-to-back Champions League runs. Now, Leicester, on the other hand, I can't lie, you need a new manager. From the looks of it, there is no progress with this manager. The football is so dead, and it's really hard to watch. But if you want any chance of staying up this year, you have to sack that manager. I don't want to see him at Leicester City by Christmas. Nottingham Forest won, Wolves won. I won't lie, I'm not gonna do an analysis on this. No one watched this game. Let's be real. No one really gave a fuck about this game. If you're a Wolves fan, congrats. If you're a Nottingham Forest fan, congrats. I really didn't watch this game. There was no analysis I could give you on this game. West Ham versus Man City, 1-3. Haaland is the best player in the world. There is no doubt about it in my mind. He is the best player in the world. And right now, I could go as far as to say there is no player close. If you watch the game against West Ham, Haaland, we talk about Haaland as he doesn't involve himself in the play. He's not that type of player that could put in a performance without scoring a goal. He scored 3 goals today. And if you looked at that performance and said that he wasn't involved in the play, in my opinion, he was more involved in the play than Kevin De Bruyne. There were times I saw him playing as a DM. You know how crazy that is? Pep has his best striker he's ever played with. The best striker in the world, without a doubt, playing as a DM at times. Dropping to link passes with Ruben Diaz. You know how wild that is? Pep is a different manager, bro. And West Ham, honestly, in my opinion, y'all got the hard done by. I wouldn't say y'all deserve to lose this game. If it was on any other day, I could see y'all winning this game because y'all took the game to Man City. Kudus hitting the crossbar, very, very painful game for him. Paqueta was on track to having an all-time stinker. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, 1-1. I watched this game on live. If you haven't gone to check out the live stream I did a couple of days ago, I definitely watched this game on live. Let's see it from the Chelsea point of view. You're at home against one of the meaty teams in the Premier League. I say meaty because they don't have Olise no more. They don't have one of their best players, if not their best player. They don't have him on the team anymore. And you don't take the game to them. The first half, if you watch the first half, they were cooking. Nicholas Jackson was looking like a problem. Nani Madueke. Bro, I have to give him his props. He was one of the best players on that pitch. I was so confused when Maresca took him off. Bro, Chelsea, you have a very good team. I won't lie. But yeah, you did spend over £1 billion to create that team. So I'm not going to hate on y'all too much about the money spending, because United spend money too, and look look at where we're at. But from a Crystal Palace standpoint, you have to try as much as possible, as hard as possible, to keep Eze. I was saying this on the live stream. The reason why Chelsea was winning that game at halftime is because Eze wasn't getting the ball nearly as much as he could. Adam Wharton touched the ball more times than Eze in that first half. I don't think Eze had a clear opportunity to shoot in that whole first half. It was to the point Eze did not have a clear opportunity to shoot in that whole first half. He had more touches inside his own half than he did in the opposition half. You know how crazy that is for an attacking midfielder? He had to drop that far deep to get the ball, and he couldn't do nothing with it. But the second half comes in. Eze gets a chance. His first shot curls it right past Davison Sanchez. First time shot. Not even first time. He just took a little touch and just placed it top corner. A man of Eze's caliber, he's never missing that, bro. He's 10 out of 10 times he's gonna score that. You can't leave a player of that caliber with that much space. It's simply unheard of. Newcastle 2, Tottenham 1. I won't lie, Tottenham are shit. Bro, Tottenham are fucking shit. And you cannot blame Ange for this, because Ange did everything. He got the tactics right against Newcastle. He definitely got those tactics right. But Newcastle took the game to them, and Tottenham were just opened up. They were just picked apart. That defense, what's his name, Dragusin? Yeah, get yourself a Chuck E. Cheese application, bro. Get yourself a Chuck E. Cheese application. You're finished. You're finished. I don't want to see a player that is not Mickey van der Ven starting as Tottenham's center back, bro. Mickey van der Ven has to start simply because he has that recovery pace. And if you don't start him, you're cooked. You're cooked, and it's gonna be terrible because Mickey van der Ven offers so much off the ball and on the ball. You can't afford to lose that. Manchester United versus Liverpool, 3-0. I'm gonna look into the camera when I see this action. Erik ten Hag, you got this wrong. You got this wrong. You sold this team. It's not the players' fault because you got the tactics wrong. If you haven't seen the Sky Sports analysis of the game where Arne Slot literally said everything Ten Hag did or Ten Hag was going to do before the game and told his players what Ten Hag was going to do, and literally left so much space in the midfield, because that's why we lost this game. The midfield lost us that game. I went back to watch that game. I watched that whole game. And you know how pissed I was. It was just a tactical overhaul. Soboslai, McAllister, and Gravenberch, they dominated us. I don't even, that's the best way to put it. The way they played against us, it was insane. Gravenberch made Mainu look like a weakling. He made Mainu look like such a bitch. I'm not gonna say Mainu's ass, because at the end of the day, he is 19. He's the same age. No, not even the same age. He is younger than me. I'm not gonna hate on Mainu, because Ten Hag put Mainu and Casemiro in that situation where Mainu, where Casemiro somehow has to play as a sort of a fullback at times, or sort of a center back. Which the space between the midfield, the defense, and the attack were so big. It was so easy for players like Trent, players like Robertson, who are great passers of the ball, just to play through our attack, our midfield rather. The amount of times I saw Salah open in space, and that was because Diogo Dalot had to cover another person's assignment, because that other person had to cover another person's assignment. Was that could not be a player's mistake. That is a tactical mistake. And Erik ten Hag, you have to get your shit sorted out. You have to, because I don't want to see another season like this. If I see another game, if I have to sit through another game like this, we still have to play Tottenham away, and we still have to play Aston Villa away. If I see that horror show again, I will be Erik ten Hag out. I will be Erik ten Hag out, because that was disgraceful. No, I'm just going to leave that there. The players: Casemiro, Andre Onana, and fucking Garnacho. Garnacho, you know, everybody knows how much I rate Garnacho. Garnacho is one of the most underrated wingers in the Premier League. I will say that. But yesterday, he did not show that. He got his chance. He started over Amad Diallo, and he did nothing. He did zero. I forgot he was on the pitch. Robertson is washed. Why aren't you running at him? And the way, I can't even blame him, because he was low-key isolated. There was no link up to him, because so many times he's just chasing the ball. Casemiro, what the hell are you doing in that situation? There's a clip that's surfacing around of Casemiro trying to do like a little scoop turn, and he just lets the ball go. Luis Diaz was pressing Casemiro on that play. Luis Diaz, and he tries to do a little scoop turn to deceive Luis Diaz, and Luis Diaz just did not fall for that. And what does Casemiro do? Instead of going to chase the ball down, he lets the ball go to one of the fastest players in the Premier League. How the fuck does that make sense? How does that make sense? Let's be real. But Casemiro, that was terrible. That was a horror show. And Andre Onana, I can't lie, I don't want to completely blame you for a couple of those goals, because definitely two of those goals were caused by Casemiro. And the third goal, that was you. That was you 100%. You're playing. You see Salah on the ball. There's no reason. Salah is that close. There's no reason you don't go chase down that shot. There's no reason for that. Why are you just chilling at the far post? You give one of the best finishers we've ever seen in the Premier League that much space and time. Of course they're going to pick their spot. And what does he do? He picks his spot. Salah now has the most goal involvements against Man United than any other player. You know how crazy that is? I swear he's only played like 16 games. He's had like 15 goals. He has like 23 goal contributions versus United. He's had more goal contributions against United than United have had this season. You know how wild that is? You know how insane that is? We're only 3 games into the Premier League season, and we have teams with players that have scored more goals than us. Come on. Just come on. That's embarrassing. Let's not end this on a sour note, though. I will be picking my player of the week and my goal of the week. My player of the week is obviously Erling Haaland. He's just a different type of player. He's one of those players I generally hate to play against, because he is that good, bro. He's that good. He doesn't need multiple touches. He will just slap in the back of the net. And my goal of the week is Haaland's second goal versus West Ham. If you haven't gone to see that goal, go see that goal right now. When I tell you, that is the definition of the best strike you could have on a football. It is perfect. Perfect, I'm telling you. Okay, guys, thank y'all for tuning in for this week's match analysis for the Premier League. If y'all like this, please let me know. I will be trying to post this on a regular basis, but we'll catch y'all in week 4. I will try to talk about the friendlies, but I won't be really on that because I don't really watch friendlies like that. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.